We will now learn how to sew a button using the sewing machine. In an earlier video, I showed you how to stitch a buttonhole on your garment using the buttonhole foot. And now we will use a different foot to stitch our button. I've placed a mark right at the spot where I have the buttonhole, and that will be where we place our button. There is a foot attachment that is available, and this little fella just doesn't get the respect that it deserves. So this upside down field goal shape foot attachment is called a button attachment. We will take off our general purpose sewing foot and attach this one on. And how we use this foot, you notice the odd shape, but these are actually rubber pieces that are placed onto the foot to grab or hold in place a button while you're stitching it. So we're going to place our button right at that point. And because this is a 2-eye button, the needle will need to move back and forth and not forward as it does when we're stitching. So we're going to place our machine on a zigzag stitch. Now your machine, if you have an electronic sewing machine, it defaults to a zigzag width and a zigzag length. Because we don't want this stitch to move forward, we don't want any length on it because it has to go just back and forth in one spot. We want to decrease the length all the way down as far as it can go, so that we have no length on this zigzag stitch. Then we want to place this button underneath our presser foot, and we want to place the needle right above one of the holes. And in this case, I'm starting with the left hole, and then lower the needle, or lower the presser foot. Then what I normally do at this point is I hand roll the wheel to get a feel for the width that is required for the stitch to make the zigzag stitch going back and forth. So I roll the needle into the hole, and then I roll it again to make sure that it goes into the second hole. And I do that a couple of times just to make sure that I've got the needle properly aligned. And then I can stitch a few stitches back and forth with my foot controller to securely fasten the button to the garment. And that's all it takes. And then I cut my threads and cut all long threads away. And there you have a a button sewn to your garment. Voila.